So should we just like glide right into this one because it's too early to do the morning thing because it is 8 a.m. on a
It's
Tuesday.
8:20 now, yeah.
Wow,
And
I was
we're
trying to
on
make it
air.
earlier for our listeners so they take us more seriously. And you
But we've
revealed
been
my
on
life.
this. We've been on the
Yeah,
call
we've been
since
on the
8
call
a.m.
since 8 a.m. Yeah, that's very
Now
true.
we have mics, as you can see. Ayushi and I both have large phallic shaped objects in front of our mouths.
Closest it's come in a while. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is if you are just blown away by how good we sound, it's because we have mics.
And if you want
Yay!
us to whisper and
We will
talk like,
not be doing that. This is not an ASMR YouTube channel.
I'm going to open my earbuds case and shut it for that soft, soft, crisp. Oh, oh, oh.
I can't.
Should I drink some water on air? Yeah, I think so.
No.
Ayushi, don't be aggressive. It's morning
Okay, sorry.
time.
Sorry. Please do your ASMR.
Can you hear me glugging?
It's super subtle.
Oh, I love a good subtle strength and a subtle picante and a subtle glug. That is a shout out to our trainer, Kunal Rajput. Kunal, if you're listening, we love you.
He's not listening. There was a 7 a.m. workout. He has finished working out this morning.
That's true, and I haven't.
He's not listening to us. But that does mean that we should do what we are supposed to do at 8 a.m. today, which is record our episode, which is on a super fun topic, as you might have seen. It is just on crush.
Yeah, the feelings that make you feel crushed, they crush your spirit, they crush your
I was
self
going to say,
esteem.
have you been? This is the question, and we have to answer this question at the end of the episode. Okay, okay. We're gonna play a game.
Okay.
Have you had more crushes or have you been crushed more? Like, what's your ratio of crush success? I want to know what's the crush success ratio. Which of
Attack.
your crushes, which of your crushes turned to fine wine, and which of them crushed you? So we don't have to get into it now. We just answer the
We'll be
question at the
back
end.
at the end. Yeah, okay, nice.
So
ठीक है.
obviously you need to stick around for that. All
Yeah.
right. So who was your first crush? It's pretty simple. Simple question. First crush.
I think I was in the second standard. Right now, I don't remember this boy's name because it was really long ago. But I
Oh,
think for
this
the
is an
first,
early crush. Okay.
yeah. But it's not really a crush. It's like, oh, he's a boy. I think
Oh,
it's the registering of the fact that this person is of a male genital, and
okay.
um yeah, it wasn't really a crush. It was just like, oh boy. And then my real first crush, I think, was in the seventh or eighth standard, like where I had a lot of feelings.
Oh,
And
of course. I was
yes,
literally trying to walk back my memory. I'm like, seventh and who does she like then? I've genuinely in this moment, I fully forgot.
yeah, we'll call him Jun
Anyway,
Jun.
I don't know whether we can take names in this episode. None
No,
of the
that's why.
people we talk about are listening to this episode, so it doesn't matter at all.
But I've made up a new name, no? So any names and places bearing resemblance to any persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
Except that it's not. These are real people in our lives. Jokes.
Hmm.
Jokes. We made them all up.
Who was
Okay,
your
so that was
first
your first
crush?
crush.
You
Actually,
feel
my
like I
first
don't
crush.
remember.
No, my first crush turned out to be eventually my first boyfriend. It wasn't
Shut up.
immediate. It wasn't like, yeah, he was the first person I had a crush on.
Is this hula hoop?
Who?
I'm just making up random names now, which I
And
feel
I'm
would
trying to
work.
think, and I'm trying to think that whether this was like a code name for a crush. Because by the way, guys, we all had code names for our crushes. That was
Yeah.
the thing. Like, oh,
Yeah.
that person's name was like either a fruit or like an object. And you're like, are you talking about strawberry? Oh my god, I love strawberry.
I
We
love
were
these
very silly.
cute crushes.
Yeah, but that he was my first crush. And it didn't pan out exactly at that point. And I remember somebody told him in PE that,
When
oh,
was
she
this?
has a
Which
crush on you.
standard? Like eighth,
I think the
ninth types.
seventh grade. End of seventh grade, I think, just before we went into senior school. And then for a while after, it was a lot of song and dance and back and forth of like stupidity with other people and this person and constantly. And I don't think we actually started dating till 2.5 years later, maybe, or 3 years.
But but
My
when I joined
memory is
school,
truly bad about this.
I was in the seventh standard when I joined your school, your
Ah.
co-educational school with boys available. um, and I very clearly remember this boy that I had a crush on. There was a lot of brouhaha, and he had apparently been in love with you since fourth standard. So he had been crushing on you, and you had crushed him, and you were crushing on somebody else.
See this question. So should I make a tally? Crushies versus crushed? No,
Crushies
that's
versus
rude.
crushed. I mean, I
It's
would
going
only
to,
be in the crushed category.
but I think I had more success with my crushes when I was younger, as opposed to now my more adult crushes, which to me is so sad because I feel like my crushes have refined with age. Like they've gotten better, they've gotten more mature. I've I picked them for the right reasons, I feel. But now they don't like me back. So, but when I was younger, it's also, I think, like the minute you had a crush on someone, you were like so coy and shy around them that it was so obvious. It was sad. It was
Yeah, can
sad
we
for
talk
everyone
about
involved.
the physiological changes that happen when one encounters their crush? I
That
find
still
that,
happens to me now.
yeah, of course, of course.
So what happens to you?
I mean, I was talking to a friend about this yesterday, in fact, and it's like when you hold, like as 27, 28-year-olds now, also, if you're like attracted to someone or you're into them, you hold their hand and suddenly your heart starts racing. So we were literally just talking about being like, why does this happen? And I was like, I think it's adrenaline, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, all of these things. Like your body is just like,
It's basically a
whoosh.
cocktail shaker and everything's just fizzing around.
Yeah,
I
but
used
my
to just
heart starts racing big time.
I used to think of a crush as like when you open a soda bottle and like the fizz starts rising to the top, because
That's
it's just like
exactly
suddenly,
it.
yeah, everything is just coming up and it feels like it's going to be right here, and I'm literally pointing to below your
Yeah, yeah.
throat, above your chest, when it feels like there's a oh my god, I'm psyching myself out right
Like
now.
you can't breathe. Like what's happening? It's all gonna explode
Because,
out of you. Yeah.
and the person has walked into the room and you've noticed that first thing when you notice, and it's not always that the object of your that time's desire has noticed you, not at all. It's just that you've noticed that person, and next thing you know, it either feels like your entire body is ice from the inside. Do you guys get that feeling where I feel like the entire inside of my body has gone completely frozen?
Interesting. I never thought about that or felt, I
I
mean,
get
equated
straight
it to
away like
ice.
yeah, like
It
even
makes sense.
it's so sad even now. And I think I know I think you would know who I'm referring to. Even if this one person, if comes into my field of vision, literally the my insides are like, oh god. And then I laugh because I'm like, wow, you liar, fraud, cheater, pretending to be an adult when you're nothing but a 13-year-old girl who has just let her body have complete control of her reaction.
But that's when
But
actually it's in
yeah,
moments like these when you realize that the mind can only control so much or be in charge of so much. And at some point, you have to get out of your head and hand it over to biology, I feel.
yeah, and I think uh, as opposed to love, which I feel is obviously a far more, at least in my mind, it's a far more stable emotion. Crush
Yeah.
is the physiological reaction, whereas say love is a more mental one, because love kind of um, overlooks and abides by and stands by and all of that stuff, whereas a crush is just simply a hormonal body language reaction to something that your body is, you're like, you are picking up their pheromones, they are picking up on yours, and it's just like, oh my god.
It's
He's
so
so cute.
interesting though. Yeah, this whole pheromone thing also. Because sometimes you see like two different people and maybe both are like trying to flirt with you or whatever. And one person you're just not into, and it's not like there's anything wrong with them. They're also like attractive, intelligent, all of those things. But maybe does it really just come down to like your body and the pheromones, and that you pick the person whose pheromones are attractive to your pheromones?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's kind of the base reaction of why it triggers almost something as close to a fight or flight syndrome, is because your body is immediately thrown into a state of shock. And it's just so we get confused because, and I read something about this, the reaction to fear and to attraction is
Oh my
kind of
god.
baseline very similar. It's just the way that our bodies perceiving the reaction to it, right? So actually, even when, and if you think about it, if you really think about when you were 12 or 13 or 14 and you had crushes, your gut feeling was also to leave the room when this person would say, you're like, I can't be around this person because what if I just immediately reveal that I have a crush on them and you don't know? But it's a lot of the same situation of fight or flight. It makes you feel the same way. There's a lot of chaotic energy that's like literally running up and down your body. That's why you get a little dry mouth, you get that butterflies in your stomach. It's all the same thing. It's different that because it's a crush we think it's all cute, but if it was an exam
Yeah.
paper we'd be like, this
We
is
would be
it, this
like,
is my body telling me that you're screwed. You are so screwed.
ah, that's so
But
true.
and I also think the physiological reaction of a crush makes you sometimes feel like, oh, I have no control whether I like this person or not. It's just my body is telling me that we are into this person.
Yeah, so honestly, that is also
Sometimes I feel
something
that
which
also.
now, yeah. With time and age, I've understood that because for some unexplained reason, of course, like you'll just be like, okay, what is going on, body? Why are we into this person?
Yeah. And I often, my mind is looking for reasons to be like,
Mm,
okay, listen, lady,
lady.
there's no reason because up here is a dude, down here is a lady. So for me, it's like, sometimes my brain is telling me that there's no reason for us to like this person. We know what we like in people. We have a list. We're going through the list. He is not ticking any of these boxes. So what's going on, friend? Dost, tell us. So we can work together on this. And like 90% of the time, my body's like, no, dude. Muscle. That's the two.
Oh, oh my God. Speaking of, should we just digress for a hot second and talk about male body parts we like to objectify? Which are like
Safe ones.
safe ones, yeah, like forearms,
Oh,
bicep,
I I
upper.
I really like, and again, this is actually there's nothing again. This is just I really like nice hands. Like it's
Oh my
something that I
God,
notice in a guy.
same. I like nice
I
hands too.
notice when a guy has nice hands. And it doesn't mean it's not like, oh, your hands have to be a certain like size or shape or anything like that. It's just like sometimes when you see someone with nice hands, and I think maybe I'm kind of into that because I'm a very hand person when I talk. Like I have had, like in the past, you know that, right? Like I used to sit on my hands to not let them distract me while I'm having a conversation. So for me, because I use my hands so much, I think I automatically start looking at them. And teeth, like if someone has a nice smile, I'm just, oh, I'm
Oh,
finished. I am
oh,
finished.
teeth are too important.
And like especially when someone who's not really a big smiler, or someone who's not really a big laugher or something like that. And I know that makes them sound like I'm like describing a sad person. I'm not.
No,
It's
just
just that
how,
I'm
yeah.
so overtly generous with my laugh that sometimes when someone specific laughs at something you said and you got to see that smile, like you got to make that person crack and you see a full toothy grin.
Oh my God, I love making my crush laugh. It's very
Yeah,
fun.
the minute you do that, the connection between your brain and your body is snapped because now we know who's driving the car. It's not your brain. It's not.
Uh,
But I, I think we should have said this. I wanted to say this at the top of the episode. I like having crushes
Same, it's such a cute, fun, pure, like it's just an enjoyable space to be in, I feel. It's
because they don't mean
innocent.
anything.
I mean, for you,
I
yes.
think,
Aishi,
yeah, I think like 90% of the time my crushes don't mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes a crush could be the beginning of something else also.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I said that in my first crush turned out to be probably one of my two only ever serious boyfriends. So like my my crush was a very good indication of what I was attracted to, where I was going, because that was a wonderful relationship that wasn't like in any shape or form puppy love that just kind of escalated. It was a good one. It was a nice, healthy one, and that started with a crush. So I can't say that all crushes are stupid and they're going to, fade away and die. But now, as an adult, ironically, my crushes, my crushes live in a phone or they live on the
Yeah,
internet.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
I
like
know what you mean though, because now it's
I'm
like
into
you,
this person's energy right now
yeah,
in this
yeah.
week.
Like you don't want
That's it.
anything from them, but you enjoy looking at them. You enjoy that occasional reaction to story exchange, that kind of stuff. These are the internet crushes.
Oh my God. Instead of discussing celebrity crushes, which I think doesn't matter, honestly, social media crushes and
Are
Instagram relation
real.
crushes
Yeah.
and Twitter crushes and all of those micro interactions that we like to say, those are the real new 21st century. Like, I don't know. I don't have a crush on him, but
There's a vibe.
dude, we like
There's something.
react to each other's story on Instagram. Like, what is that?
Like, what is that? I want to know. Can we explore this?
And the quick reactions on Instagram.
Yeah.
There's
The
different ones,
fire
right?
emoji and the smiling eyes emoji.
Listen, if you are sending me a fire emoji, and I'm
Yeah.
straight, so if it's coming from a dude who is also straight, let me say those things as well. We are now in an Instagram crush situation.
Yeah, agreed.
So I need you to do that consistently so that my delusion can thrive. Otherwise, I'm going to
Oh.
quickly forget. But
Delusion.
yeah, so I also think that the way of having crushes now on people has changed so much. Like you had this idea of the crush is only school. Like even now, when you tell me something or I tell you something, the way you describe it is, dude, it's just a schoolgirl crush. It's gonna pass pretty soon. I think by the end of this week, I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be over it.
Hmm.
But clearly these aren't just schoolgirl or schoolboy feelings. They have endured, and again, it's just that physiological reaction. So it doesn't really matter how old or young you are. I think that if you're in the space where you're openly exploring your relationship status, or you're open, sometimes I think even when you're in a relationship, people get crushes on other people, which is, that's a whole other thing to discuss actually.
Dude, yeah, actually,
But
like within relationship crushes are also super
yeah,
normal.
and
And
I
I
so
think
that's something
healthy
I
when
think.
couples discuss it also.
Now, see, I don't know. I can't really speak to that. I want to say that I'm super progressive, but if I was in a long-term relationship with someone and he told me that he has a crush on someone else, I don't know how I would respond. And let me tell you why, because I take the onus on myself. I don't really know how I would respond if I had a crush on someone else in a relationship.
Fair. Yeah,
Like
you can't
I
say
don't.
till you're in the situation, really.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but
Tell
yeah,
me about have you ever approached a crush and made your feelings known to them?
I don't think I've ever gone up to a person and been like, hey, I have a crush on you. But I think I have made it obvious that I was interested.
Okay. I
You
have
know, you
bindas
can,
made first moves now though at this point in my life. I've lost all shame. I'm like, here I am. I am into you. Take this information, do what you please.
do you ever still want to gauge a little bit whether you think that person is reciprocating your feelings, or you're just kind of happy to be like, hi, here's my feelings.
Well, not with a
They're for
total
you.
rando. Like the feelings are only gonna start. I mean, the crush will only develop if there's a vibe in the first place. For me
When you were
now.
in school, you had a lot of crushes that you
Oh my
told
god,
people
she
like,
don't even get me started on this sad story. I'll tell all our listeners. So first time I had crush was seventh standard. Then in eighth standard he found out. No, in seventh only he found out. Then in ninth
I think he found
standard,
out in the seventh.
seventh only. Then eighth standard properly I've sat him down and told him. Oh, to matlab fail ho gaya. He was like, oh, we should be friends. I was like, okay, no problem. Then to recover from that crush, I've gone and had another crush. Because that's what I do. I was moving from crush to crush, not from boyfriend to boyfriend. No boys are interested in my. Just moving from crush to crush. Then I went
I
and
have
got
been talking
crushed
for the. I have been talking for 12 minutes where we should have done the whole episode just on you.
on my school crushes, which left me crushed and left my
I know.
spirit crushed and made me feel unattractive as a woman. Oh my god, that's a whole other episode of
Can I tell you all though
teenage
that
boys.
we'll do angst. We'll do angst. We'll do
Again,
it. But
how much
again.
angst do we have?
But you know what I was gonna say was your crushes now in retrospect we can talk about it because I think a majority of them are married. They were all really tall, skinny
Only
boys.
two of them are married.
Okay, fine, but even the other one is in a serious relationship.
They were all not
Um,
tall and skinny. Only two were tall. The others were my height.
They were all skinny.
Skinny is true though.
Like you were attracted to slender man.
You know, actually, I've noticed now also, like, I'm into athletic men because I think I'm
Yeah.
overcompensating. Because I'm like, guys, I'm on my way to fitness. You need to already be there. If you are also on your way to fitness, this is not going to work. Oh my god. मैं चुड़ैल हूँ, मुझे चाहिए abs now. So I'm like, where are your abs? Show. Put hands on abs and be like, okay,
But
we can work
you
with
know
this.
you're right, and frankly I don't care about any of this what the implication here is, but these days a lot of my crushes start from the physicality of it. So if you're not working
Sorry,
with
we are
some muscle
28-year-old women. Are you kidding me? Of course. And
it's so important to sometimes understand, and just how we said the crushes have a physiological reaction on you. I think crushes are brought on by very physical markers of like smell,
yeah.
body language, and like a physical presence is so triggering. I'm right now I don't even have an active crush, and just talking about a crush is making me excited to have one.
I
But I don't
love
have
this.
one
I
at
feel
all.
like, no, not at all. Don't lie, Aishi. There's no one in replying to your stories with reactions, quick reactions.
No, I am reacting to someone say, every time this dude puts up anything, I have no filter and no ability to censor myself. I'm just quick reacting to everything. I'm just like, I
But
need
I'd just
let
like
you
to
know.
put it out there. We love that. Receiving quick reactions from a attractive, interesting person, who wouldn't be into it?
100%. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just reacting to people on the internet. No, there was another thing that I wanted to talk about, which was, when we were talking about this topic, like how we should talk about crushes. It was super exciting, and I thought it was such a fun one. After, like, sometimes we get a bit serious, which is fine, but this was so fun. But instantly, my brain was also like, oh, this is also such a vapid topic. Like, it's so. Like, is there enough to talk about? It's a crush. You're so silly. Like, this idea of that crushes being a silly little girl's problem.
Let's
And I was
remove
like,
the girl out of it firstly. It's a silly
no,
yeah.
I agree. Take girl out of it. But a very normal social perception,
Yeah.
of what a crush is that it's a schoolgirl crush. We call it a schoolgirl crush.
Yeah. True.
And we make it very silly and very stupid and kind of dumb. Like, oh my God. You immediately, when you have a crush, you become like a SoCal girl. That's the thing. But it's not.
That's me. I'm a SoCal girl all the time.
So do you have a crush right now on
Continue.
anyone?
Yes, I have a big crush.
And how is that panning out for you?
I think he has a crush on me too.
That's too much happiness. I'm not okay. But no, that
yeah,
so,
I'm in
okay.
this teenage crush phase. I feel like it's very young and very new and very cute.
And I don't mean to put you on the spot by putting you on the spot. Is that when you met this specific person and when you came back, the way you actually described it was like, I think I have a little crush.
Yeah, that's exactly how it started. Yeah.
And it came from hanging out in close proximity for like 2 days, and you just had an
Yeah.
exchange of good energy, and
Yeah.
like the vibe was feeling kind of complimentary, and that's how it started. So when you think about it, most relationships, not to call your current situation a relationship or one way or the other, but most things start out with a crush. So why do we diminish it
Yeah.
so much? Why do we make it sound so base and so silly? Whereas almost everything starts out as, I have a little crush. And let's
Absolutely,
see if it goes
Ayushi.
anywhere. The ease of having a crush is that you can get out of it. I think that's why
Yeah.
we like to term that first part as, oh, we're just in that crush stage, because it's so easy to retract yourself. It's so easy to get over a crush. Like, come on now. You just pack it up into a box and you put it back in the files and it's done. Because there's so
Actually,
many
but
back
then the
there.
minute it becomes something real, it's then so much harder to move past it.
Well, yeah, because then it's not a crush, right? Now you're acting on feelings. Like you actively have feelings for this person and you're willing
But
to
what
put
about
in some
crush
of the work.
heartbreak? Crush heartbreak is also a real thing, but it's not as
But it's so
hectic.
quick. It's so quick. It's not so hectic.
Yeah, it
You
depends
don't
on how
find it
long you've
hectic?
nurtured this crush. I found them damn hectic because of my school crush heartbreak. So I took them very badly. You know this. I've had
I know.
breakdowns after breakdowns, meltdowns. One day this boy has so I was best friends with this guy, of course, best friend. मैं तो सबकी best friend ही बनती हूँ, and I'm very much in love with him. This girl comes to my class. She sits next to me. Next thing you know, this man I'm in love with, man, fuck it, is a boy. I was in love with him, and next thing you know, he is in love with her. So he goes and tells her, and then she's telling me in an empty classroom one day, Ritasha, listen, XYZ told me he likes me. It was an empty classroom. You know how they stack up the chairs on
Yes.
top of the desks after the day is
Yeah.
over and all of that. It was a classroom like that. Imagine it's her and I. She's given me this information. I'm sobbing. I'm on the floor. I'm like almost beating my chest, like, ah, मैं तो लुट गई, ah, मैं बर्बाद हो गई. It was so dramatic.
I
But I
forgot
was
how intense your crushes were in school. I fully
But
forgot.
no, it was not because it was just like time pass one sided. Of course, I mean, my love was one sided, but I had been very much let into the friend zone. I was being given attention, spoken to every day, taken to the social. By the way, he took me to the social also.
Which one are you talking about now? I'm confused.
There's only one tall, slender back in the day.
There was okay, there's a tall, slender one who was a little bit on the fairer side, and there was a tall, slender one who was on my perfect duskier side. So which one are you talking about?
Yes, the latter. The one I really
Okay.
had a lot of feelings for. Then to get over this tall, slender, your complexion one, I went into the tall, slender other one. But you know, then there's the other teenage angst of that same girl who had been, she has dated both of these tall, slender men. So imagine teenage me is losing it at this point. And I'm like, this is the worst thing to happen. Why does this boy just not like me back? So, but if you look at it from that angle, I've had a lot of very, very intense heartbreak at a young age. And that has really prepared me for life now, I think. Now I'm
Of
like,
course,
theek hai.
everything that happens to you when you're in those formative years either like frees you up to a better version of yourself or fucks you right up. Like, I think it's only two options
Yeah, but you
basically.
know, now what's happened is like we've come so far from all of these crushes, and so much has happened in life that none of these people mean anything to me anymore. I don't even like follow them on social media, barely look at, like, I never see them socially also, except for my first crush. He's still a dear friend. And that, I think, is the nicest evolution of crushes, when they turn into friends and you stay
Oh yeah,
friends.
absolutely. And in fact, this person gets real riled up when we discuss him on the podcast, but we're both really good friends with him because we both had this weird crush like situation with him at some point in our lives. However, so we were talking about getting over crushes, crush heartbreak. So you, my God, I'm still laughing thinking about you
Me
in your
beating my
school
chest in
uniform
the
in school.
classroom. Yeah, and this girl who's just told me I feel bad for her now. What she had to deal with. She's
And
like, I have to just enter the school. The boys like me. What do I do? Is she okay? She's unhinged. Doctor,
the
doctor, help! CPR.
the best part is, wait, no, I'll tell you guys a little interesting school tidbit about Tash after the break. We'll just take a quick break. So, I was just thinking, as you guys know, we've been friends through all of these crushes. And I remember coming to after this had happened, I think like you were upset for a couple of days, obviously. And
I
you
was
were in the
upset
same.
for years, I feel.
I was
A
trying to
year
be
or two
polite.
at least.
I was trying to be polite. Oh wow, I love this episode just because of this trip down memory lane. This is going to be my daydream all day. I'm just going to be thinking about this. So I remember this so vividly. You were in the same class as the guy that you had a crush on and the girl that he then liked as well. And that was rather unfortunate. But I think the next day, like this had happened, and then you told us about it. And I think the next day we were all like, oh, girlfriends have to go and like be with your friend who's upset, and you rally around them. And even though there was a lot of viciousness in our early relationship, there was still a lot of like feminine love and support for like, oh, no, someone has done this and I will be there for you types thing, which
For
is
sure.
great. And I remember it was lunch break and you were again crying. And at this point, I was such a bitch. I'm like listening to you cry. And I remember one of our other friends was also there. And I have just reached into your bag. I've taken out your lunch as if to like give it to you and be like, come on, you should eat your lunch. Like, come on, you need to eat something. Like, come on. And I've opened it and it was those mini uttapams that you used to get.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And they were so good. And in the pretense of feeding Rytasha,
She's just eating my snacks.
I've eaten all of our lunch to the point where there were 2 left. And at this one, I was like, I just need to commit. And I was like, Rytasha, like, if you're not going to eat this, like, it's okay. Don't force yourself to eat. It's fine. Like, it's really okay. Not feeling it, have some water. And I ate those 2 as well. And I've left, and the friend that we were with was like, dude, you just ate her full lunch. And at that point, I was just like, yeah, but I had to sit through that. Like, I needed the energy to sit through how upset she was.
There have been days when I have been in the girls' bathroom on the floor crying, unable to deal. Ayushi has gone to class and got my tiffin and come to the bathroom with water and been like, here.
Listen, we've really seen each other through the paces. I think, come on, like, let's not just put this entirely on you. You've been there when I think the last relationship that I was like, I didn't take that one so well also. I remember being like asking Tash to move in for 2 days and just have like 2 days of sleepover so that there was someone near me because my parents weren't in town. So yeah, we've all had sitting on the bathroom floor of school. And the thing is, when you have a crush in school, it's so public. There's no private place.
And even if you don't tell everyone, somehow they have found out. It's too bad.
Because listen, Tash, you or me or anyone who had crushes, any girl or guy, how did it look eventually? You came back from lunch break after seeing your crush with the object of their affection, and you are just now distraught. And what do you have to do? You have pee after lunch. You have pee. And you have to go to the girls' bathroom, you have to change. And at this point, you're already like quivering and quavering. And then you see these people again in pee uniforms and shorts, looking cute, standing next to each other. And you can't take it. And that's when Mrs. Vengankar says, do laps. And you're like, this is it. This is my whole life sadness right here. Because not only do I not have my crush, I am now being made to run in circles. Just for the highlighting the pointlessness of my life. It has no meaning.
My meaningless existence. Oh, yeah. That's hilarious. That's too funny.
Though now do you feel it's so hard to get out of a crush?
Ayushi, really, honestly, I was in a very serious relationship for 3.5 years. So
Yeah.
in between, I didn't really have any crushes, of course. I was too busy
Yeah.
being an adult. Uh, but then as soon as I got out of it, I've had a couple of crushes. One crush was super easy to get out of. One crush I'm currently in the throes of.
Mm.
So, but what is still not changed about my crushing and crush situation from Ridasha at 12 to Ridasha at 28? Fake scenarios don't end for this bitch. The
Oh,
daydreaming don't stop. Ali Bhai from Dhoom is still on.
that is another quintessential crush aspect, the delusion.
The delusion. Let's speak about it, Ayushi.
And I think the delusion in a crush versus the delusion in the relationship is just miles apart. And it's insane how sorry, excuse me. It's insane how you can really let your imagination run insane. Like it's insane how insane it can get.
Yeah,
Because
and
you've now made
listeners, I
up
have to
all
tell you, Ayushi has the most incredibly vivid and creative imagination I have ever encountered in my personal life.
see, people call it manifesting. I call it
Yes,
delusion.
it's
So
the
it's the same
same.
thing.
Yes.
People write in their journal, I will do this, I will do this. So I'm also saying that. It's just that what I'm saying maybe is a little more ambitious than other people's. And that's not on you. That's not on me. You need to
Yeah.
dream bigger.
Yeah, for sure.
um no, but I think the delusion with crushes is very strong because you have this weird imagination or belief that, oh, it's going to work out, like I have a crush on this person and they are going to have a crush on me, and next thing you know it's all going to be super hunky-dory and it's all perfect.
How do you remove that even as an adult? It's so fucking annoying, to be honest. We are not at that age or stage in life, I feel, where this kind of delusion is healthy for me personally.
No, it's absolutely not healthy. But what did I tell you? It's like a 3-minute delusion, right? Like you allow yourself 3 minutes
Hmm.
of just, sinking in it, bathing in it, soaking in it, where you're just like, oh, the bubble bath of delusion. Look at all these nice bubbles. All bubbles, only bubbles. These bubbles will never go away. I'll just always be in this warm, perfectly scented water. In 3 minutes, they are gone. You're
Yeah.
sitting in filth.
Okay, then.
And
Okay.
that's what it is. I am now a therapist, and this is my new thing that I'm telling people. It's called the bubble bath syndrome. You can enjoy the crush for the first part of the bubble bath. After that, you must get a grip and realize that you're sitting in your own filth.
Got it. Noted. I will
Because I
bear
think
in
a
mind.
relationship is like a shower.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
A crush is
Wow,
an
Ayushi.
indulgence at the end of the day, no? So it's like, it's a bubble bath.
So maybe we should discuss crush versus infatuation versus love a
Don't you
little
think
bit.
crush is infatuation? No, it's not. It's not.
I think
It's
it's
not.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Because you can be infatuated in a relationship as well. So that so much so that you don't see uh so are we saying, one second, are we saying infatuation is a bad word?
I don't know. See, I'm not putting judgment on any of these words, to be honest.
Okay.
They are
Okay, not bad or good, but in the scale of these three, is infatuation the most unhealthy one?
no. I feel infatuation can be great also. I think it's a more mature adult version
Is
of.
of crush?
I think so. Maybe should it? Can we entertain that thought? Perhaps
We can entertain that thought, we can discuss it.
we
I
can
don't know, maybe
explore
my
that.
yeah, I just thought infatuation meant that, like, oh my gosh, she's infatuated by him, or he's
I
like, you
also feel
just
like
don't
infatuation
see.
has a more sexual energy to it. Like
Oh, I didn't think of it that way.
there's an element of like sexual chemistry and attraction also, which I think a crush is more pure. Like, oh, I want to hold your hand and I want to look at you and I want you to pass notes to me. This is
I need
me
to
back
clean
in
up my
school.
crush thoughts. um
Because what I think you might be experiencing is an infatuation, love.
I actually thought infatuation was more like you just cannot see beyond this person. Like it's just stars in your eyes every time you meet them, to the point where some people are like, oh no, she's just like, it's a head over heels infatuation. She is just obsessed. And then the minute reality kicks in, you're like, okay, I was a bit infatuated at that time and I overlooked a lot of things. Because I think I've been in a situation where I've been infatuated by a person to the point where I didn't notice that maybe not all of my, like, this wasn't the right thing for me, even though other people could notice it, is what I'm
I
saying.
think people have just made infatuation like a not good word, because so often it's like
Maybe you're
mistaken for
right. Yeah.
love. So I mean, not everybody, but I feel like at least the way I've heard about it or been spoken to about infatuation, oh, it's just an infatuation. Um,
Oh, so you've used it kind of interchangeably with crush.
yeah, but a little more like
Sometimes.
grown up, a little more sexual, a little more intense.
Okay.
Because you know,
Okay.
Aishi, in my experience, crushes have only ever been one-sided. So let's leave it on that.
Ah.
We're infatuated
Well,
with someone, maybe there's an element of cross collaboration.
interesting. Well, right. Cross collab. This is a collab.
We're
No,
collaborating on a crush.
um. Okay, fine. Then let me ask this way: how do you difference?
Differentiate.
Thank you so much. How do
Thank
you
you so
differentiate
much.
between a crush and in infatuation? Do you think the only difference is that physicality thing, that one is a little more intense sexually and one
Yeah,
is a
so
little
I would say
lighter?
like, yeah, that for me
What are
personally,
the
I think that's
stages?
what
Like,
it is.
is it crush, infatuation, relationship? Is that how it goes?
Maybe, I don't know. So I would say crush happens first, or
Hmm.
like maybe the infatuation happens first, which then leads to a crush. Sometimes it can go either way. I think for different people, it happens differently. Like, because you're
Okay,
into
I
this
like the first
person,
thing. I think the
crush,
crush is that
infatuation.
you've come on my radar now. Crush means you're on my radar.
Okay, I've noticed
Infatuation,
you.
yeah, infatuation might be that, oh, you're starting to find out things about this person that is just making you like a tick, a tick,
Like
tick,
you're
tick, tick.
actively attracted to them and you want to do things with them.
Yeah, because you don't see anything wrong with this person at this stage.
No, I mean, you could still. Infatuation does not mean, I think, absolving a person of all of
I guess
their
I
wrongs.
thought that. I guess I think that when I think infatuation is just like stars in
I,
your eyes. Every time you
yeah,
see them, it's
yeah.
just like it's perfect. It's all perfect. But
An
and then it's a
intense but
relationship.
short-lived passion. It's an intense and short-lived passion or admiration for someone or something. So yeah,
That's the definition of all my adult relationships.
they're all infatuations.
Short-lived.
Sure.
Laugh with me, listeners.
Oh.
Laugh.
I'm sure many listeners are relating to everything we're saying currently.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because
So I would say,
this is the topic of the week. We are normalizing having crushes.
yeah, it's the best. I think also in this whole other world of oh, काम पे जाना है, ये groceries लानी है, मम्मी पापा से deal करना है. This crush is like a nice, happy mental bubble one can check into, have a little nice staycay in delusion land, and come back.
Bubble bath.
A
It's a
bubble
mental
bath.
bubble bath.
Oh my
You know, from
god.
have you guys seen? Do you guys watch? What is that? That show which has a hormone monstrous on it.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Fuck.
The animated show on Netflix. Nick
Yeah,
Kroll, all of
yeah.
them.
I
And
know.
you know, she said the
Big
hormone
fish.
monster. Big
No. Some
no.
some fish thing. Making things up.
No, but oh my God, I can't believe it. I watched the show, but there's the hormone
Loud mouth,
monstrous on
big
it. The way
mouth,
she
big
says,
mouth, big mouth.
big mouth, of course, big mouth. The way she says, bubble bath. I just love it. Anyway, that's okay. So
Yeah.
do you no what were we talking about?
We were just talking
I
about how
forgot.
nice it is to go into delusion land for a bit. In the throes of adult life, to have this bubble bath of infatuation, crush, whatever it is. If you're not in a committed relationship, it's so nice to
A
have this.
distraction,
Yeah, a
a
distraction,
little
which again has
distraction.
negative connotations, because
Yeah, I guess the word distraction has negative connotations, but I wasn't using it negatively right now. I was using it as a happy distraction. It's
I'm
like,
with you.
oh, there is something outside of your, like you said, your day to day that's making you smirk a little bit. You're like, okay, that's
Yeah,
cute.
that is
That's cute.
yeah.
But do you also feel like when a crush is in your everyday life, you do certain things to turn that or take it to the next level? Like, do you, I don't know, do you try to dress up to impress them, or read something that you know that they are into, or like listening to the same music or content? Like, how do you channel your crush?
I
That's
think
yes, how do you
wow,
channel your
wow.
crush?
I think we've all done that of like listening to the music or watching the thing they recommended you should watch. Uh, yeah, done all of that. But I feel like for appearance related stuff now more than ever, I'm like, no, thank you. I can't. I'll do me. I'll be comfortable. If on a day randomly I happen to look great and I've decided I want to dress up and you happen to meet me on that day, then yeah, sure. But otherwise, it's mood dependent. Like the most recent time, one met one's crush. One was
Hmm.
very, very, very much in like pajamas, pretty much, hairy legs, whatever, living her normal life. So,
I think
yeah.
you have transcended that thing of not being like, I'm not there yet.
I think it's because I've been in a 3.5 year relationship and lived with somebody that now all of those barriers for me are broken. Because now I feel like if somebody has loved me at my worst, lived with me, and still,
Yeah.
what is this? Like a real, true, grown up adult man should not have a problem with my hairy legs.
Oh yeah, I mean, okay, look, I wasn't breaking it down only to like
I
body hair,
means,
which I think is
no,
something
it's
that
a,
women do to all. She said like, oh, I've not even, I've not groomed myself for this. Yeah, okay, that's there for sure. But I was saying it more in terms of like, I know that even now, if I, not that I actively have a crush on this person, but this person kind of blips in and out of my radar. Like for last maybe 10, 12 years, there's nothing there. It's just they kind of blip in and out of my radar. And it doesn't mean anything. We're all friends. It's nothing. But if I know that that person is going to be around, or maybe is coming to hang out or something, I'm not going to lie. Like, I will look at my appearance a couple times in the mirror. I'll check before I go, and I'll see what I'm wearing. I want to make sure that it's a vibey outfit, and like there is no expectation. Like, genuinely, listeners, dash, believe me, there is no expectation here. But
you want to
there
look
is
your
something,
best. Yeah.
yeah, there is something about that which leads me to believe that when you have active crushes, when there's actually a person that you are interested or attracted to, or kind of trying to get on their radar, I think it's very natural for us to work a little harder at it, or make a little bit more of an effort. Just as you would in the beginning of most relationships, people make a lot more effort than you
For
do
sure.
later.
I think the situation is also like it dictates if it's a social setting, like you're meeting at a party or everyone's going to a bar, of course you'd put in more effort. Like if it's a casual hang at
Oh yeah,
home.
that, like, you're genuinely stepping out, so you're putting on the effort. But I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
even if I was hanging out at someone's house, if I mean, it crosses my mind once in a while. It does.
No. Sorry, I'm being
No,
like this.
that doesn't cross my mind. But the thing of like, I wouldn't want that person to notice me at an unattractive stage. Let's put it that way. But
When,
that
yeah, fair, 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 fair. Yeah.
but I think when I was younger, I have done the thing of trying to tailor my interests to someone else's interests, which that is one thing that I have done a hard no on now as
Now,
an adult.
yeah.
Like you said, in terms of accepting who you are from a physical perspective and all of that
And
stuff.
from
For
a
me,
mental perspective also.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course, of course. But I'm saying for me, it's very like, the one place where I have reached that security is that no, I know who I am as a person, and my personality and my interests and what drives me. That's not going to change. Like, I'm not going to tailor that for you. But
Yeah.
admittedly, there was a time in my life where I was like, oh, he's into this band. Yeah, I'm also super into that band. And I was not into that band at all.
And also
But I
now I
have,
think, yeah, but like when you're a teenager or when you're younger, even in your early 20s, um, something as simple but also as, how do I word this? But your opinions, for example, as a woman, sometimes a crush may not be
Yes,
ready
yes.
to see that side of you, for example. Because now we all know that that side is in both of us. But it's like pretty much all my sides have a hint of that side. It's there. It's like a pan, it's a wash across my personality. So now
Of
there's no way
course.
for me to hide my opinions or my feelings about being a woman, especially an adult woman in this world. So now I'm very much vocal. And sometimes, even now, Ayushi, I'm like, shit, am I being too feminist? Are we in this conversation? Should I tone it down a notch? And
Oh
that
my
happens to
God.
me. And
Yeah,
I
that happens
stop
to all,
myself.
and the mess up is that you're hoping that at least this is how I feel. Again, I can only talk about a straight relationship because I don't have experience otherwise, but it's like sometimes women are trying to tone down how feminist they sound and how feminist they appear in
Yeah.
the desperate hope that the guy will be so progressive and feminist that he will be like outrightly saying how much he cares about women's rights and equality and everyone's rights and equality at large.
Thank you for
So it's
saying that. Yeah.
it's such a weird situation where both parties are playing this song in a dance. But I don't, you know what? I don't have the right answer to this because I've done the same thing where sometimes I've looked around and I was like, am I too loud for this setting? Am I too loud right now? Not loud in terms of volume, but just loud in
In
terms
terms
of
of everything,
personality
my
and
personality. Yeah.
like opinions. Is it too much? And do I need to shave it down a little bit? Do I need to taper it? And I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. I really don't. I I struggle with it as well. So if you know, let me know, I guess.
Let us know. Yeah. We can maybe start a discussion about this. Yeah.
But there were those other things where forget music. It's like books. You were told that, oh my God, this is such a good book. Wait till you read it and then we'll discuss it.
This has
And
just happened to me like 2 weeks ago. My crush said you have to read this book. I've immediately bought it on my Kindle. I'm out of control.
I've done that before. I've done that thing of I'm gonna read this because you told me to read it. And then as I was reading it, I was like, dude, if I do read this, even if I do finish it, I'm going to now have to pretend that I liked it or that I care enough to discuss this with you. And that is the thing where you have to realize that is this going to be something real or is this going to be something short term? Because if it's short term and you're only looking to have a good time, girl, pretend,
Pretend and just
enjoy,
enjoy
and
and get
then
out. Yeah.
get the fuck out. But if you really care about this person, and usually when someone is recommending something to you, like I'll take it back a little bit, is when you're in a relationship and someone is explaining something, or even in a crush, you are so into what that person is into. Like you're just so excited to see what that person is into. Because I really like it when someone's talking about what they're passionate about. It's so cute. It's so, so cute when they talk about stuff that they're into, that you pick up on it and you're like, okay, I'm going to try being into the same thing. So we'd have another level of discussion. But if you really want to take that to the next level, I would then say don't lie about those things,
Yeah.
because that's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Because now you're turning into a version of yourself that I am telling you guys it is not sustainable on a long term
For
basis.
sure. For
Because
sure.
eventually your
Absolutely.
personality will come out.
Emerge. The real you cannot hide and sit quiet for too long.
And listen, the things that you like and you're passionate about and that you get and gain joy from, that's what you get joy from. Why should anyone tell you otherwise, or make those or belittle that, right? And just how you don't belittle it for someone else, you don't have to make yourself smaller for your crush. Like that's the kind of self-help lesson here for young Ayushi and for everyone else. It's just a crush shouldn't make you feel small. Like the problem with the crush is it really gives a lot of power to the other person.
Yeah.
You just have to remind yourself that you gave them that power, so you can also
And
take it
actually,
back.
you have the power. As in, everyone has their own power, guys. Yes.
No, but it does feel like your crush has a power, like a
No,
control over you,
yeah.
power
Yeah.
over you,
Oh,
because that physiological reaction comes from where? It's from that only, right?
there.
Like, oh
Exactly.
my God.
No, but
But
I
you
think now
gave
as
this
an
to them.
adult, I have to keep reminding myself, take this a notch down. This is not a teenage crush. We don't need to behave this way all the time. We don't need to allow this power to rest with them. You're absolutely right. I've started to reclaim it.
Yeah, not that I need to be reclaiming any more power from anywhere else. Like I need to calm down. But this one for sure, like I think even as a kid, now that I'm thinking about it, it was a lot about giving that person power or control over your mood, over your interests, over your
They cannot control
attention
your
span.
mood. I just want to say you all. And to me mainly, they cannot control your mood. If they don't text you back for half an hour, it's okay. They are busy. You cannot message them again saying, don't ignore me. It's not okay.
This is feeling very personal because I do that to you. Are you
Baby
talking
girl,
about
you
me?
can do it to me. But if you're in a new crush situation, as I do, I am that
Yeah,
person.
we give you some real advice. If you're in a crush, don't double text the person saying, why aren't
Same.
you
I mean,
replying to
yeah,
me?
I've done it and I've been told off. So I've been put
Yes.
in my place now. And I respect that. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Fair enough. We are not in a place where I can double text you, and that's okay. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah, double text is a special place.
Only for Ayushi to do for me. She can only double text me.
That's because Rytasha genuinely doesn't reply to me for hours. And she has this, everyone has this idea that it's like all I'm doing is puppy gushing on her. Absolutely not. 99% of the time, it is work related. Like we have this, then we have this topic. How do you feel about this thing? Should we talk about this? Then there's this guy.
Yeah.
It is a lot of normal stuff that I text her. She then replies cumulatively 3 hours later. So obviously I'm frustrated.
Yesterday, you messaged me at 3:30 in the afternoon, and I was hungover yesterday. So please don't mind, but I've replied to you at 8:15 p.m. saying I have no brain space. I'm still hungover, bunny. I don't know what to do.
So if you for 1 second are going to tell people like I'm a double texter, I don't have a choice. I don't know how else to reach you. I'm not a double texter. Let me say it. I'm a quadruple, what's a 551? Pentagonal texter.
Wow.
Just
Pentagonal.
all of them.
Ayushi has now sent me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 messages in a row. But Ayushi,
I'm a
you're my forever
hexagonal
crush.
texter. I'm
You're
a hexagonal texter. Just trying to get in touch. Oh man. Anyway, I mean, I'm
send us your crush etiquette. I want to listen to everybody's crush etiquette. What's going on with our listeners?
Yeah. Also, I'm looking for a new crush.
Okay, noted. Let's manifest it. Get that delusion working over time.
Shall I give them a little delusion, like a sneak peek into it?
Yes, please. It's the best. It's my favorite part of Ayushi's brain.
The part that's unhinged. So, like one of my delusions that runs real rampant is that like one day I'm going to write a book and it's going to be like supremely lauded and, bestseller, yada, yada, yada. And when I'm doing the book tour, promoting it, I'll be invited on all these different talk shows. And obviously, because the book has gone global and, Netflix wants the rights for it and all of that
to make
stuff.
a movie.
And eventually
Yeah,
you're kind of like, right. So I'm out on the promotional tour. I'm stopping at all these places. Yeah. And I stop at one of my favorite late night talk show hosts, Conan. Like he's one of my all-time favorite comedians in general and writers and everything, but he's excellent. So I'm on Conan and then he's like, oh, and you have a beautiful family, because in the delusion, already married with children.
Yes.
So he says, asking about my family, you met your husband and this. I'm like, yeah, it was, it was a stupid little crush. It started like that and then it went somewhere else. And so when I have a crush, let me tell you where you are with me. If I have a crush on you, I have taken you to the global main stage.
Same. And in my crush, I've taken you to the Oscars, by the way. I just want you to know.
You are in my acceptance speech after mom, dad, brother. It's you. Because that last one, and then just before the music starts rolling, and you're like, and to Jeff, who I don't have the
I
words because there are
couldn't
no
have done
words
this
without you, Jeff.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And
Oh
I
my
don't know who
God.
Jeff is. But
Jeff is like the John Doe version of your name, of your husband. To
no,
me.
dude, it's just the first white name that popped out of my mouth because I didn't want to take any Indian names lest
No,
anyone get
I know.
confused if
I'm
I'm
with
talking
you.
about them.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about any of y'all.
Yeah.
My crush. Anyway, the void in my life right now where a crush could kind of exist is there. So feel free to, send in your resumes. Let me know if you are worthy of me taking you on this global roller coaster.
What a fun episode, Ayushi. I had such a blast chatting with you.
I know. This was great. I have to run to work now and
I know that.
completely harness my delusion and put it away in a box.
You'd asked a question at the start of the episode, which I think we've addressed.
Oh my
anyway,
God.
too.
Yes. What's your crush ratio? Crush to crushed ratio. Wine to crushed ratio. Whatever, I'll
Wine
think
to
of it.
grape ratio. Are you saying wine to grape ratio?
No, because actually, what I'm saying is a crush that got fulfilled and went well was the wine because it turned into wine. But then the one where you got crushed by the grape.
I have been crushed by the grapes 15 times minimum. And I think I've made it to minimum. I've made it to wine maybe 2-3 times.
Okay. That's actually not too bad of a ratio because we just said how flippant crushes can be. So it doesn't matter how many crushes you have. It's only the ones that convert,
Correct. What about
Yeah.
you? What's your ratio?
The amount of people that I've had a crush on.
She can't even count. There have been
No.
so many boys who have liked you.
Yeah, but have I had a crush on all of them back?
That's
the difference.
Ayushi के अलग problems है यहाँ.
No,
मेरे
these were young
problems अलग
Ayushi
ही है.
These, let 1 second. Don't say like this after I've just begged for someone to crush on. No, listen, this was a young Ayushi problem because young Ayushi was, she was really just having the best time. Now, mature Ayushi knows what she wants. Standards have really been raised. So that's why there's less crush. But no, I think in my life, I've had about like 10 to 15 crushes easy.
Same. Yeah.
What is a crush? 10, 15 of them I've had. But in terms of how many of them have converted into real things, I would say about 4 have actually, from the active crush list where it was like, oh, I started that.
Yeah.
And it was 4 of them. But
nice.
Girls, I mean, sometimes a crush is also on the regular guy at the coffee shop. Like you're kind of like, it's cute.
He's cute. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Have a
A
crush.
work crush, you like do a shoot one day. You have a crush for somebody on one day. I love that also. You go for a shoot and somebody's cute and you're like, हाँ ये sweet है. इसके लिए आज का दिन इस पे crush होगा.
Oh my God, party crushes, conference crushes.
Love a good conference crush.
1 second. Let's extend this for 2 minutes. Just wait. You want to do event crushes? School crush, office crush, conference crush, party crush, coffee crush, restaurant crush, university crush, library crush, study group crush,
jogging crush,
gym crush, park, outdoor activity crush. I at traffic light in also other nice car looking cute driving home from work. Sometimes you all meet up at the same signal time. Him crush. He could have a full family, be married, doesn't matter. I have a crush.
Yeah.
Gallery crush. Sunday morning cycle.
Yeah.
Zaddy crush.
Zaddy crushes are real.
Lift crush. Person that you sometimes take the lift with in the morning, in the evening, you're coming down at the same time. Sometimes you sync up and you're like, you see each other. There's eye contact. There's a crush. Listen, there are, okay, we'll end it on this. There are an infinite number of ways that you can be crushed. And you can crush.
Love it.
So crush away, my friends.
Crush away, report to us, talk to us, please.
Heart.
Yeah, I'm so excited to hear your insights into the crush world.
Go out there, have a crush.
Have a crushing time and just crush it, guys.
have a crushing week.
I love you, Ayushi. I'm hugging you.
Hugging you too. And It was so nice doing the morning session. Obviously, we'll
Yeah,
see
now I'll
next
be
week.
happy for the day. Yeah.
was
Hope you
great.
guys have a great week and a great day. And thank you for listening, as always, to Agla Station Adulthood. If you like this episode, please listen to the rest of our episodes. They're available everywhere on whatever platform you get your podcasts. And yeah, please follow me and Ayushi on Instagram. Talk to your friends about this show. Just spread the word. We are wonderful. Enjoy us.
Yeah, you can find IVM. You can find IVM at IVM Podcasts on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And you can find Rytasha at RYTASH on Instagram. And you can find me at Ayushi A9 on Instagram and at Just Ayushi on Twitter. Thank you for the privilege of your time. Crush it, kill it. Have a good week. Bye.
Bye.
So if you enjoyed that clip, check out the entire episode on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcast from.